Hi guys. Okay, I was talking to Miss Lita, who makes the Gunbutter, and she said a lot of you guys have been contacting her asking, can this be used on the modern guns, because I had talked about cleaning the fouling off of that chamber insert on my shotgun. For those of you that don't remember, I have a 9mm chamber insert that goes into my single shot 20 gauge, and I'd shot about 200 rounds through it, and I pulled it out and it was black, and I took the gun butter and just ran it up and down the bore and wiped it around the outside and laid it down and let it work for like 10 minutes, and then I came back and just wiped it and every bit of it come off. Yes, this can be used on modern guns as well, but understand what this is a combination of oils and stuff to form a Vaseline like stuff, okay? And that's the consistency that it is at most time. I've had it down into the 30s thus far, and it didn't get into a hard cake. So, and I've had it up in the above 90s into the 100, and it has not liquefied. So you get the idea. But what you do is take a bore brush, is what I usually recommend, and get a little bit on it and run it up and down the bore. In this case, I'm going to use a patch that I've just wet down with it. And use it like you'd use a regular gun solvent. Just coat the bore with it. But now the thing about it is, you want to give it a couple minutes to work. So I'm going to put it on here, making sure the full bore is good and coated, turning it around. And then I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes. 5-10 minutes, something like that. And then I'll come back and run another patch through it. It will soften and make the fouling come off. Now we developed this for use in black powder revolvers and black powder guns. It ain't got to be a revolver. I've been using it on the black powder rifles and on the revolvers. And just by the fact that I had it at the range and I had gone out and was shooting that chamber insert, I tried to see if it'd clean that stainless steel chamber insert. Cleaned it like it'd never been fired. I've used it since to clean my 9mm barrels, my 45 ACP barrels, my 22s, my 38s, etc. And it's done good every time. I just simply apply it, like I said, give it a couple of minutes, and then I come back and wipe it out. And then make sure you run a clean patch through it, because here's the difference that you need to be really aware of in cleaning a muzzleloader revolver and cleaning a modern gun. Okay, on the muzzleloader revolvers, we want to leave quite a bit of lube in the barrel, of clean lube. Like I said, I shoot the barrel wet so that when that first round goes down the barrel, it's a lube bore, not a dry bore. On modern guns, that is not necessarily the greatest idea. You do want lubrication, but not excessive. So, like I said, if you're wanting to clean your modern gun with it, run it up and down the bore, let it sit 5-10 minutes, come back and run a couple good patches through it, get the crud out of it, and make sure you run a clean patch through it so it's not excessively lubed. Because modern guns and their high pressures, and especially with jacketed ammunition, excessive lube in the bore could drive up the pressure because there's something in the way, even though it's not, but you know what I mean. They tell you that even on lubricating bullets and hand loading, is wipe the extra, the excessive lubricant off the bullet, because it can drive up pressures by the lubricant on the bullet. So just err on the side of caution. Just make sure the bore's clear, that's all. Okay, this has had a couple of minutes. Now let's take and turn the patch around backwards. And now let's see what we get. Beautiful. And there's all the fouling. Just rolls right out of that shotgun bore. This is pistol powder fouling, because this is what I shot that 200 rounds through, and so that's what came off of it. And of course, I'm gonna scrub it a little bit more. I'm not gonna just do that and be done, but I could. But you know what I mean. Go back and go through again, making sure I'm putting the wet side of the patch to the front. Go through and redo it. turn that as I do, twisting it so it completely spirals up around and down the bore. Got that extra off right there. Look down the bore. Shiny. And there is all of it. Came right off. It seems to be a good treatment for rusting. None of my percussion revolvers are rusting with it, so it seems to work well. So, all disclaimers, your results may vary due to your environment, conditions, etc. But yes, for those who've been asking, you can clean the modern guns with Gunbutter. I'm cleaning all of my modern guns with it as well, and it seems to do really, really well. Miss Lita is selling these through her site, and down in the description box I'll put a link to her site so you know where it's at. So for those of you that were interested, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Please hit that like button before you go. Do me a favor. And till next time, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.